Conservative new media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world, what's up? We're here to talk about some topics that have come up between Game 75 and before tonight's Game 76 against the Portland Trailblazers in Portland. Now, I'm going to have a few more kind of ums and ahs in this video because I didn't get to do a lot of notes before this. I'm just going to answer some comments, and there's one particular topic I want to talk about, and that's why I'm making this video more than anything else. So let's get right to it. Okay, the topic I want to talk about is that Jeremy Lin is going to be featured this upcoming Sunday, April 7th? Yeah, April 7th in the United States on a television program called 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes. Now, it's a very prestigious program. It's a news magazine show, basically. What they'll do is they'll have like 4 stories like in 1 hour. And so, Jeremy will probably get 15 minutes or whatever, and they'll talk to him. And a lot of it they already filmed. A lot of it was filmed apparently earlier, like in the fall. Maybe around the start of the basketball season, but apparently some of it was filmed more recently. And I think it includes the stuff where Jeremy said a point guard, the point guard, all that stuff from the Orlando game. But here's why I'm bringing this up. Apparently in the interview, and there's a video of it going around, like CBS, which is the station that hosts 60 Minutes. It's the network that 60 Minutes is on. CBS has put out a preview video. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to find where it is and put a link to it in the video description so you guys can go see it for yourself if you haven't already seen it. Apparently in the preview video, the host, the interviewer, which I believe is Charlie Rose, who is a pretty well-known host in the United States, I guess asked Jeremy about why he didn't get a Division I scholarship. And I think that at some point, either the host or Jeremy or both of them or whatever bring up the issue about Jeremy's race. Jeremy being Asian, is that why you were overlooked for a scholarship? And so everybody's a lot of people are going crazy on this. I've seen it at Clutch fans, I've seen it at Real GM, etc., etc., etc. So some people are, he shouldn't have said that for whatever he said. He's playing the race card and stuff. Look, I don't want to get too deep into this. We try to stay away from these types of issues, and we at conservative media we're for everybody. There's no, we're against racism, and we just don't like to talk about the stuff too much. It's just, just in any regard. But, look, my feeling is this. If Jeremy Lin believes in his mind and his heart that he was not given a scholarship to go to Division I basketball, even though he was the player of the year in California, if he thinks that has something to do with him being Asian, well, then I don't have a problem with him saying that. Now, I can't tell you what happened and what didn't happen. I wasn't there. I wasn't a recruiter. I wasn't a scout. I didn't see Jeremy Lin play in 2005 or 2006 or whatever it was. I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is he was the player of the year and of the biggest state in the union, the most populous state in the entire United States, and he didn't get one offer from anybody. That's interesting. That's the way I would characterize it. That's an interesting thing. So, did it have something to do with this race? Is it racism? I don't know. I have no idea. I can't make that judgment because I wasn't involved. And I don't know the people involved. But if Jeremy Lin believes that, well, then that's his prerogative to say that. So people are freaking out and he's playing the race card. And look, I don't know. But that's my take on it. You're going to hear about this. You're going to hear about this if you haven't heard about it already. And everybody's got an opinion on it. My opinion on it is, what I just said. That's up to Jeremy Lin to decide. He knows what he was doing. He knows what he felt. Now, is he accusing anybody directly? No, you can't do that. You don't want to do that. But if he believes that, then he believes that. That's his conception, apparently, of what happened. So that was the main thing I wanted to address in this video, was that issue, because it's starting to spread like wildfire. Now, I know Joyce said in the comments of Game 75, why is Jeremy Lin starting to get a whole bunch of attention right now? Joyce, it's a great question, and I think the reason is that there's two reasons. One, he's playing better. Personally, he himself is doing better. We know how much he struggled in the beginning of this season, right? So that's a big thing. I can tell you, as somebody that worked in the media in the past, you never want to jump on a story until you're sure it's going to work. So you don't want to go out there and promote a player if he's not doing well. You want to make sure he's doing well and he's going to be good, and then you'll do a story about him. So I think that's a big part of it. The second reason is the Rockets are about to make the playoffs. So now it's okay to promote him. Like I said, if you have a story about some player and he's on a last place team, he's struggling, well, maybe you don't do that story. But now that the Rockets are going to make the playoffs and Jeremy's resurgent, well, now it's time to run the story. And that's the way it works in the media business. It's a feel good, and now all's well that ends well. And that's it. I mean, this is what's up. And I know that somebody else in the comments of the Game 75 put in, there's a new video out, I guess, Jeremy Lin, Day in the Life. I'll try to find a link for that and also put that in the video description. I haven't seen it yet. Look, Jeremy is huge, as I said. And now that it looks like Rockets make the playoffs, Jeremy's coming around, again, the NBA has plans for Jeremy. As we've talked about, Houston's going to be playing games in Asia for the next preseason. I think in the Philippines and Taiwan. Well, guess what? It's time to promote Jeremy. The NBA is very good at promoting stars, and they want to promote Jeremy. And so it's almost playoff time. Time to start promoting. Not just for now, but for later. That's how you build up a commodity, so to speak. And Jeremy's a commodity that the NBA is very interested in and that they are hoping is going to help them grow in Asia. And so it's time to start pumping them up. And I think that's why you're seeing this now. Now, a couple other questions. People asked us, well, what are you going to do, Paul, in the off season? What are you going to do? You guys going to still make videos? What are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing stuff? Yeah, we're definitely going to keep doing stuff. We did that last summer. Whenever the season ended, we followed everything. We followed, did Lin get a contract? And is New York going to sign him? And should New York bring him back? And all this. So, yeah, we absolutely will continue to cover Jeremy Lin during the summer. And there's going to be a lot to cover. Last summer was harder because he was working on his rehab. And he was doing the tour of Asia, which we also covered some of that. So, look, there's not going to be any let up of Jeremy Lin stuff, not from us. Even though there might not be games every other day, we will continue to cover him. And like I said, just go back and look at our stuff from last summer. That'll give you a good idea of what we're going to do. But the bottom line is we will continue to cover him. He's going to be improving his game. I'm sure he'll be making videos about, what his workouts are like. I know he did that last summer. I'm sure there'll be videos of him in Taiwan and him in the Philippines. So, yeah, we're going to be all over it. We're going to be all over it. Ray, I believe, was asking about, or Ray Yao, I believe, I can't remember. I'm sorry if I messed your name up. I know it's R something Yao, was asking about playoffs and how do the playoffs work, and can you talk about the playoffs? Actually, no, somebody else was asking that question. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it is. There's several tiebreakers. There's a whole string of tiebreakers, right? The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. So the Rockets have the first tiebreaker against the Warriors. Why? Because they beat them 3 out of 4 games this year. That's the number one tiebreaker, right? So if the Warriors and the Rockets finish with the same record, Houston would have the higher seeding in the playoffs. And that's important. Also, it doesn't strictly go by record for like the first 4 seeds. I think what has to happen first is you have division winners first. So the Clippers could finish with a worse record than the Memphis Grizzlies, but they might get a higher seeding because they're going to win the Pacific Division. And the Memphis Grizzlies are not going to win the Southwest Division. That'll be won by whatever, the Spurs or the Thunder or whatever it is. So that also comes into play. I can't remember. The NBA changed things a couple years ago. I can't remember if that holds up for the entire playoffs. It certainly is the case for the first round. So like I said, the division winner will have a higher seeding in the first round than a non-division winner that has a better record. So that's an important thing to understand as well. The second tiebreaker behind head-to-head, I believe, is conference record. So if you're in the West, which team had a better record? So if you're in the West and you were even against somebody you tied against, say the Warriors and the Rockets have the same record and they went 2-2 against each other in the regular season. Then you go to the next tiebreaker, which I believe is conference record, as I said. So, okay, who did better against the Western Conference? Maybe Houston was, 25-12, and the Warriors were 20-17 or something. So Houston would win that. And there's more tiebreakers. I'd have to look them up or get a link to them. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll find a link and put that in the video description, because there are several of them, and it can get pretty complicated. I was asked by Jackie from Shanghai, China, and I wrote to you, Jackie. You asked if you could put the videos up on Baidu. Yeah, sure. I mean, we want to share them with as many people as we can. So you can put them in Baidu. Absolutely. In fact, it would be great. And I don't know if we can do this now. Maybe it's something we can do later. We'd have to find somebody to work with. It would be great if we could find somebody who spoke, Mandarin or Chinese or something and translated the videos, like actually could translate them over. Now, that would be pretty complicated. If I make a 50-minute video Well, then someone's got to dedicate 50 minutes to translating it, and obviously it would take a lot longer than 50 minutes, and then how do you do the video and all this stuff? But that's something I've thought about that. I don't know. Right now, we might just have to go with what you were saying, Jackie, which is some people on those boards, on Baidu or whatever, they'll translate it, make translations. So it's something I want to look into, though. We actually looked into that before for like closed captioning. You know, like you watch the video and then the words come on the screen, but it's pretty complicated. But it's something that because so many people watch these videos in countries where English is not the first language, it's definitely something that could be pretty useful. So I don't know. I mean, if any guys have any ideas about that or something, or it's a possibility, let us know. Again, it might not be realistic right now. Maybe it's something we can look into doing next season. I'm not sure, but it is something I've thought about. And with Jackie's question, it just kind of reminded me of that. Minhee Cow, you asked about JDV, and you missed John, and kind of takes away something from CNM. John's going to be back soon. He will be back making videos soon. He's just been really busy right now. And that's all I can say. It's just he's been very busy with some other stuff. But he'll be back making videos soon, and he knows you guys miss him, and I've told him that. Now, Skeletor had a really good idea. And we were talking about, the Jeremy Lin picture, and it looks like a schoolboy, blah, blah, blah. Look, and I said, look, go take a picture of him. Go to an event and take a picture of him. But Skeletor had an even better idea. And I think that this is okay in terms of copyright and stuff. I'd have to ask John. He would know better. If somebody draws a picture of Jeremy, if someone out there listening is a good artist, and you want to draw a picture of Jeremy and it's intense and whatever, draw it and send it. I mean, I have to give that person an address and stuff, but, if someone can, or, email it, whatever. If you guys do that and you find a picture that you like or whatever, or if you're a good artist, send it to us. We'll use it. Like I said, I use the one picture because that's the only picture I'm allowed to use. But there are a lot of great artists out there. I've seen great pictures of Jeremy that are drawn. So if somebody wants to do that, then, we'll be happy to use it. I just thinking, Jeremy, there's somebody put on Real GM, and I'm on Real GM quite a bit, more than I'm on Clutch Fans. I like Clutch Fans. I mean, I'm not on there that much. Somebody had a thread over on Real GM, and like, oh, Jeremy's, he's not that good, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Look, as we've talked about, Jeremy's improved tremendously this year. I'm thrilled with his development, particularly coming from the knee injury. He's doing great. I mean, he couldn't be much better than what he's at right now. Big-time improvements in three-point shooting, much better ball handling, much better working in the offense. He still has to learn how to play off the ball more, but it takes time. I've mentioned LeBron and Dwayne Wade, who are both ball-dominant players, and it took them like 2 years before they could play some off of the ball with one another. That will come. It will come. It's starting to come already. As I mentioned, that curl play that they're running for Jeremy, that's off the ball. They're doing more stuff, and Jeremy is getting better at it. So, look, there's still a lot of haters and doubters. There's still a lot. I was just over on Clutch Fans and talking to people over there, and there's like some thread about 60 minutes, the thing, and I was talking over to people in there. Again, I'm Phi Slamma over on Clutch Fans, and I'm Hot Rocks 34 at Real GM. So if you see me over there, that's me. There's still a lot of people that don't want Jeremy to succeed, And that's, you know that. If you're a fan, you know that. For whatever reason. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Jeremy's doing good. He's doing well. And good. I mean, that's great. That's, he's doing what he needs to do. Okay, now, third rail, you asked me, why did I explain the hokey pokey in Game 75 after I, mimicked it and sang it? The reason why I explained the hokey pokey is because I'm trying to help people from non-American cultures learn more about America. That's what I try to do in these videos some. Introduce little things or little phrases or some cultural elements. We mostly talk basketball. We talk about other stuff too. And that's interesting for people. And a lot of people that are watching Jeremy or that are fans of Jeremy, Jeremy plays in America and he's American. So I think it's neat for people to learn things like that. It's the same reason why when I talk about basketball, I try to break down some of the basic elements of basketball because a lot of fans of Jeremy's are new fans. I know Iceberg mentioned, hey, thanks for talking about the basics of the game. Right. So you and I know about the hokey pokey, but a whole bunch of other people don't know about it. So I could sit here and sing it and they don't know they don't know that I'm imitating a famous song. So that's why I explained it. Yeah, it's true. Only people 70 years old or whatever know about that. But, it's good. It helps people learn more about American culture. Something else I thought about, and we'll see how this works. Again, just like the translations. It's not going to happen right now. John and I have a site. We do. I mean, it's conservativenewmedia.com, but we don't use it very much. In the future, we want to do another thing, maybe do a blog and stuff like this. And when I look at the comments, we're getting hundreds and hundreds of comments on some of these things. So in the future, we might look for a spot, like a site where we can go and do more of the commenting after the games. Maybe that could be a way to interact before games. I know Dyson has mentioned that, and a way to extend the discussion or have it be a little easier or clearer to follow or whatever. But again, that's not going to happen right now. Right now, if I'm going to talk to you guys, I'm probably going to do it in the comments of the last video or the last game video. And, we all kind of know that and we look for that. So that's what we're going to do right now. But as I mentioned with the translation idea, it is something I'm thinking about, and it's something we'll look to do in the future. Pretty soon, relatively soon, I don't know, in a matter of months, I can't tell you how many. John and I are going to be reworking things with CNM. And I don't want to say too much about it, things are going to be changing. I don't know how soon, but, we will continue to develop and evolve what we're doing. And so, like I said, maybe these are things we can add and look at in the future. Having a blog or, a site. And, again, if we could translate some of the videos, that would be great. It'd be easier for a lot of people, I know. So that's about it. Look, I'm looking forward to tonight's game. I believe somebody said that Chandler Parsons is out for this game. Pardon me. LaMarcus Aldridge, the power forward, is going to play for Portland, I believe. But Nicholas Batum, their small forward / shooting guard, he's not going to play, which is a big help. He always plays well against Houston, so that's good. Look, we need to win 3 games to get in. We should win this game tonight. Portland is good at home. They're very good. But they're not going to make the playoffs. So, maybe you catch them and they're not feeling, they don't care as much as Houston cares. Team's going to have to step up. Missing Chandler, that's a hole. I mean, that's a hole in the team. I don't know how Delfino's doing, so, we could be without 2 small forwards. That's not good. Jeremy's going to have to play well, and the rest of the team's going to have to play well too. But I'm looking forward to tonight's game. It's going to take place in about 5 hours from when I'm making this video. It's 5:30 p.m. on the East Coast on Friday, April 5th, which means it is 5:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 6th in Taipei, Taiwan. This game should be good. It should be very good. And everybody's playing tonight in terms of teams. Lakers are playing. Utah is playing. Warriors are playing. So we've got a full set of action tonight. And it's going to be good. I'm happy that we're getting the full rollout Jeremy Lin stuff. Day in the life, 60 minutes or whatever. Great. Jeremy deserves that. And he's going to get it. As I said, I don't care how much the haters or whatever. That's why I said the only thing that matters for Jeremy, no jinxing, is to stay healthy. He's good. He works hard. And he's smart. He understands how to work and what he needs to work on. So all it is just a function of time and him having the ability, like in the offseason, to work with his shooting coach and stuff. He's going to get better. He's going to get better and better. That's why I think a lot of the haters don't understand it. Like, dude, you think he's going to be at this level, or you think, oh, okay, just threw him on a new team, and he's just not that good. And these people don't understand basketball, or they just want to diss Jeremy. So again, don't worry about that. So look, good stuff. I'm going to look for links again. Link for the 60 minutes preview. Link for the tiebreaker stuff, and there was another link. What was the other link that I said I was going to do? I don't know. I don't know. There's another link, and I'll look for that as well. So there's 3 links I want to put in the video description. Oh, also, I forgot about this. Tonight's game with Portland is on ESPN. So if you're in the United States, or you get ESPN around the world, you should be able to see this game. I have to watch on the internet or dual, League Pass and all that. So that's great. And that's another thing I wanted to get across before tonight's game, so you guys can check it out. So that's it for now. Thumbs up, thumbs down this video. Your comments below. Again, I will look to put those 3 links in the video description below the video player, as well as information so you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group if you'd like. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching CNM. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Can't wait till tonight's game. Jeremy's had 2 great games back-to-back. 2 double-doubles, meaning he's had double figures in 2 categories. And those 2 categories are points and assists. Hopefully you can keep that up tonight, and we can get another victory and get 1 step closer to the playoffs. Hope everybody's having a great day or night wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care. We will talk to you later tonight.